Gold didn't just build empires, it built corporations powerful enough to replace them. This is the story of how one metal connected an African empire's sacred symbol to some of the deepest holes ever dug on Earth, and why one of the world's largest gold producers eventually walked away from the country that made it a giant. In the 1670s, deep in the forests of what is now Ghana, something extraordinary happened. Various Akan states unified under a visionary leader to form the Ashanti Empire. But this wasn't just another kingdom. It was a sophisticated state built on gold. The Ashanti controlled something priceless: rich gold deposits and the trade routes that connected West Africa's interior to coastal ports. Gold dust became their currency. Every transaction, every tribute, every display of power involved gold. Then came the golden stool. According to Ashanti tradition, their priests summoned a golden throne from the sky, declaring that it contained the soul of the entire nation. This wasn't just symbolism, it was constitutional law. No king could sit on it. No ruler could claim absolute power over it. The golden stool belonged to the people, and that made the Ashanti Empire nearly impossible to break. By the 1800s, the Ashanti Empire was producing so much gold that Europeans renamed the entire region the Gold Coast. The kingdom had become one of Africa's wealthiest and most politically sophisticated states. But that wealth made it a target. The British fought multiple wars against the Ashanti, finally defeating them in 1900. The breaking point came when colonial forces attempted to seize the golden stool itself, an act of such profound disrespect that it triggered a fierce rebellion. With colonial control came industrial mining. In 1897, the Ashanti Goldfields Corporation was established in Obuasi, the site of one of the richest gold ore bodies ever discovered. What had once been controlled by African kings now flowed into vaults in London. The Ashanti name, however, endured, a reminder that this gold had powered empires long before Europe arrived. Meanwhile, 3,000 kilometers to the south, an unemployed Australian prospector named George Harrison was walking across a rocky ridge near present-day Johannesburg. The year was 1886. What he found beneath his feet would change South Africa forever. Within years, Johannesburg transformed from scattered farms into a booming industrial city. Mining houses rushed in, including operations backed by Anglo-American, which would later give rise to AngloGold. But there was a problem. Gold wasn't sitting near the surface. The reef sloped deep underground, and miners had to follow it, down and down and down. By the late 20th century, South African mines like Mponeng reached depths of nearly 4 kilometers. Temperatures down there exceed 60 degrees Celsius. The rock pressure can crush steel. Miners needed ice slurries pumped through the tunnels just to survive their shifts. These weren't just mines, they were engineering marvels and human endurance tests. For decades, South Africa dominated global gold production, and AngloGold stood at the center of it all. Then came the merger. In 2004, two histories collided. AngloGold of South Africa merged with Ashanti Goldfields of Ghana, creating AngloGold Ashanti. The name itself tells the story. South African engineering depth meeting Ghana's golden heritage. On paper, it was a marriage of strengths. In reality, it reflected a harsher truth. South African gold was becoming nearly impossible to mine profitably. Here's what kills a gold mine: depth, heat, complexity, cost. By the 2010s, South African operations were bleeding money. Extracting gold from 4 kilometers underground required massive ventilation systems, refrigeration plants, and extensive safety infrastructure. Labor disputes were frequent. Costs kept rising. Gold grades kept declining. Meanwhile, mines in Ghana, Australia, South America, and West Africa offered something South Africa could no longer provide: gold closer to the surface, at a fraction of the cost. In 2020, AngloGold Ashanti made a historic decision. It sold its last South African assets to Harmony Gold and exited the country entirely. The company that had been synonymous with South African gold mining for over a century was gone. Mining follows geology and economics, and the geology had run out of easy answers. Today, the story comes full circle. AngloGold Ashanti now operates across 4 continents, but Ghana remains central to its identity. At Obuasi, the same site the British began mining in 1897, the company has invested to redevelop the mine using modern technology. The Ashanti Empire understood something fundamental. Gold is power, but control over gold is sovereignty. Colonial powers seized that control. Corporations industrialized it. And now, in the 21st century, the story continues, not in the depths of South Africa, but back where it began, in the land of the Golden Stool. From sacred throne to the deepest mines on earth, gold has built nations and broken them. AngloGold Ashanti isn't just a mining company. It's a living monument to history, carrying the name of an African empire into the future.